Hey, what is going on, guys? Max Settings here, and welcome back to another review. In today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the C Audio Yume. Now, before we get into today's review, just a little disclaimer that this Yume was provided for review by HifiGo Audio. HifiGo Audio is an online audio retailer that carries a bunch of different brands. They have sent me quite a few things before in the past to take a look at, so I will link their store in the description below. Once again, big thanks to them for providing this Yume for review. Now, the C Audio Yume is a bit of a newer player on the block. C Audio has made a few other IEMs before, none of which I don't think were particularly noteworthy. I don't really remember seeing much about them before this, but the Yume is getting a little bit of hype right now in the IEM space, so today we will see what I think about it. So without further ado, let's get specs out of the way. So the C Audio Yume is coming in at $169. It is using a 2BA 1DD setup with an impedance of 32 ohms, a sensitivity of 106 dB a milliwatt, a frequency response of 20,000 hertz, and that is about it for the relevant specs on the Yume. So moving into the build section of the Yume. So the C Audio Yume is a plastic shell pretty much all around. And it's very light. Like, this IEM weighs almost nothing, which I guess is a good thing in some ways. Other people might pick this up and say it feels cheap because of how light it is. I don't really think it feels cheap. Despite the plastic shell, it feels very sturdy. It doesn't feel like it's going to break or anything. The faceplate's kind of interesting. Kind of has like a purpley greenish glitter to it. And it looks like it almost has like Egyptian hieroglyphics. This one looks like an eye. This one's a sun. And one says C, and the other side says Yume. And yeah, and then on the top, 2-pin connector, which is my preferred style of connector, as well as a port on each side. And then this again looks like a pseudo custom shape, which seems to be becoming a very popular thing to do in the Chi-Fi IEM space, and I really like that because a lot of the pseudo customs have been very comfortable to me, and this one is no exception. I find this a very, very comfortable IEM that I can wear for a long time without any issues. So all in all, build and comfort on the Yume is quite good. So now, as for included accessories, the cable that it comes with is, I think, a 4-strand copper braid, 3.5 millimeter, little ear hooks, and again, 2-pin connectors. This cable is decent. I don't think you really need to rush out and replace this cable. It's decently flexible, pretty comfortable on ear to me. Not the most amazing cable out there, but I definitely think this is a very solid stock cable that I do not think that you really need to rush out and replace. So cable definitely gets the pass from me. And then you get just this little metal case here that you can put the IEMs in with whatever their logo on top. You also get a selection of tips and a few other things, paperwork, stickers, whatever in the box. So that is the included accessories on the C Audio Yume. So now moving into the audio segment of the Yume. So starting off with frequency response. The Yume has got a bit of a bass shelf. So it's up, I would say, about 10 dB at 20 hertz, and it rolls off really quickly. So it's pretty much done by the time you hit around 150 hertz. So it's a very, very low shelved bass boost on the Yume. After that, rest of your lower mid-range more or less flat, and then your upper mid-range tuning, the 2 to 3K area, pretty much nails it to my ear. It's right about where I like it in terms of my mid-range tuning. I don't think with the 1.5K is too recessed. I think it's very well tuned there. The 2 to 3K is also very, very in line. And then you have a little bit of upper treble boost, just a couple dB. Not saying that they're bright, but it just has that nice little extra upper treble that can be very, very nice. And then the air on this is very, very lacking, but it is a cheaper IEM, so that is about to be expected. Your 9-10K is a little bit recessed, but 7-8K has a little bit of a boost that is very, very nice. So that is about it in terms of frequency response on the C Audio Yume. Now let's talk other areas in terms of technicality. So in terms of detail, the Yume honestly is lacking in resolution even at $170. It is a fairly grainy IEM. It sounds fairly rough, lacks a lot of detail. So overall, the resolution I would say is, even for the price, I would say is subpar. In terms of dynamics, I also find it fairly lacking there. Overall, macro dynamics are fairly compressed, and overall, microdynamics are also pretty smoothed over. The bass, despite having that shelf and having dynamic driver, is not that punchy. It's pretty mediocre. I mean, it's better than some BAs. I've heard BA bass that's better than this DD bass, but it's kind of whatever. And then in terms of overall like staging, average, imaging also average, nothing really noteworthy there. Transients are kind of smoothed over. It just sounds kind of smoothed over and kind of low resolution overall. And I believe that is about it in terms of the technicality section here on the Yume. Now, as for comparisons and my final thoughts, so the Yume shares a very similar frequency response to like the Moondrop Blessing 2 and Blessing 2 Dusk. The bass shelf is a little bit different, but the mid-range and treble tuning is more or less exactly the same as the Blessing 2 and Blessing 2 Dusk. So the tuning on this is very, very good, but the technicalities are a bit weak. If you care about like frequency response overall, pretty much anything else, I would say this is a solid pick. Comfortable, looks pretty good, has a nice package, but man, it's low resolution for its price point and pretty smoothed over. It's not terrible, like it doesn't sound bad to me, but the whole time I'm listening to this, I'm just like, yeah, I wish I had, more resolution and it wasn't as smoothed over. I guess maybe if you want to get like an idea of what the frequency response of the Blessing 2 is like, you could pick one of these up just to see that. All in all, to me, it's a little bit hard of a recommendation. Like, it's not bad, but like even compared to some of the better $100-ish stuff like the Moondrop Starfield or the Aria and a few other options, I guess now the Etymotic ER4 as well is about this price now. Hard sell to me. But it's a good IEM. It's just I wish it was like under 100 and not 160. If it was under 100, I think it would be a much easier sell. But at 169 or whatever, a little bit tough of a sell to me. So overall, Yume, good tuning, but technicalities are kind of mediocre for the price point. But it's a solid IEM. If you want to pick it up to take a look at, you absolutely can. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed my review of the C Audio Yume. Once again, thanks to HifiGo Audio for providing this for review. I will link their store in the description below, as well as my Twitter, my contact email, and all the relevant information. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.